And at the time, I was a writer for the Conan O'Brien show, and I had written there for 2 years, and I was burnt out, and I didn't want to do it anymore. So I went to the head writer, and I said, I have to quit because I think I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. And he said, take 2 weeks off, and we'll pay you for the 2 weeks. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So I had nowhere to go, and I thought, maybe I'll go to Russia. I really don't know why. I can't really explain any decisions I made then. Because I have children now, so you don't have to search when you have children. You're not like, oh, what could I do to enhance my life? You're just sort of compelled to do whatever comes at you at a certain age in life. But I was in my 20s. I had no wife, nothing. I had no girlfriend even. I just was this guy, and I had money from a TV job, and so I just said, I'm going to go to Russia, because when I was a kid, I used to read Russian novels, and I loved them, and I would open all the windows so I would be cold, and I wanted to be cold like they were. So I just decided I'm going to go. And also somebody told me that the wall had just come down in the Soviet Union, and that Russia was a really crazy place at the time. So I said, I'm going to go there. I speak no Russian. I can't even look at the alphabet and understand what I'm looking at. There's no place more foreign to me than Russia. So I went. I went to Moscow, which is, when you land in Moscow, it's just forest, and there's a city in the middle of just forest. It's terrifying. And as the plane goes down, you're like, no, I didn't want to really do this. And the whole time there, I couldn't fend for myself. It was already a country that was just broken in pieces. And the weirdest things happened to me there, and they just became normal after a while. Like I was in a restaurant, and a waiter came up to me, not my waiter, and he said, Coca-Cola? And I said, uh-huh. He said, Coca-Cola, and I said, sure. I don't drink Coca-Cola, but I had learned by that point to just do what they're asking you to do. Sure. So he went to the kitchen, and he got a Coke in a can, and he handed it to me, and he said, $5. Because only dollars were worth anything there. And I said, okay, on my bill. He said, no, $5, me now. So I gave him $5, and he put on his coat, and he left. He just sold me a Coke on the side, and then quit his job. So those are the kind of confusing moments I was having there. And I couldn't talk to anybody, and I was so lonely. It's difficult. I mean, I was alone, and I just sit in the room and go, okay, that was a really fucked up day. I hated that day. And I tried to watch television, and the TV was American shows like Dynasty. And the way they translate, they didn't have, what they did was the sound is a little down, and there's just one man saying all of the dialogue over the whole show. I was there for 2 weeks, and it just was crushingly, I had made no contact with anyone. And then one day I went into the subway. Now, if you've never been to Moscow, the streets in Moscow during the Cold War, they were made wider so that they could have missiles go down the middle of the street for the parades. And if you go there, you'll find out, if you go behind the big buildings, they actually tore the buildings off of their foundations and dragged them back. And a lot of the bigger buildings in Moscow, in the back, they're being held up by like bricks. It's really unnerving how unsafe the whole city is. So the streets are very wide, and you can't cross the street on a green light. You'll never make it. So they made tunnels so you can go under, and those are connected to the subway. And the subway in Moscow, you go down in an escalator, and you keep going until you think, it just keeps going. Like, this is so deep, this is really upsetting. But anyway, everyone hangs out in these tunnels. I went in the middle of December. I went to Russia in the middle of December alone. And I'm standing in the subway, and I'm watching a violin player. And the one thing about Russia still today, I think, is that no one has any money. So when you see a guy playing the violin in the subway, he's like the first chair violin for like the Russian Symphony Orchestra, because that doesn't pay shit, and at least he can get a few kopecks in the subway. So I'm watching him, and these other people are sitting on the floor, and we're crying. Everybody's crying. Everybody. It's just normal. People are just watching, just wiping away tears. And there's a young fella sitting here, and he looked my age. I was 25 at the time. He looked about 25, and he was tattered and just watching this violin player. And then this group of kids walked by, about 8 children, ranging from 5 to 10 years old, and their faces were dirty, like in Oliver Twist, like they were in a play, like they had rubbed dirt on their face. And they're all wearing men's coats that they're wearing as from the neck down to the floor, and none of them have sleeves, their hands in their sleeves. Their sleeves are just flopping. They were like street urchin kids. And the coats, it just looked like these men's coats. And you kind of knew all the men who owned those coats are dead. And at least one of these kids killed those guys. Like, I swear I looked at an 8-year-old's face and thought, he has murdered. And that's what they looked like, just tough little kids. And I'd seen them before in Moscow. They work in groups. The guy sitting below me that I identified with called out to the head kid in the front. I don't speak Russian, so I just knew he was going, he's appealing to him. He needed something. And the kid with his hands in his sleeve looked at him suspiciously and said, like, what the fuck, why, what do you want from me? And the guy went, explaining himself, and he showed that his shoe had come apart. And he showed that his shoe was like a flap, and he showed the kid, and he showed him his shoe, and the kid shrugged and said, like, okay. And the kid's hand appeared from out of the sleeve, and there was a tube of shoe glue in his hand. He didn't rummage for it, it was already there. And he handed it to the guy, and the guy fixed his shoe with the glue, gave it back and just did. And then the kid from the other, he took his other hand had a paper bag, and he put the glue in, and he huffed it, and his eyes rolled back, and he got high. And then the group kept going, and I couldn't believe what I just saw. That the misery in this country at that time was so calculable and so predictable that this guy thought, my shoe's broken. Oh, there's a child. He's sure to have some glue in his hand because the state of our nation is so wretched. And I looked, and he looked at me, and I was startled, and then he laughed, and I laughed. And he's the only person I had any contact with in the whole of the Soviet Union. And I realized this is why I came here, to find out how bad life gets, and that when it's this bad, it's still fucking funny. That's all I got. Thank you.
I have a solution for the pandemic, by the way, for COVID. I have it. This is it. We test everybody, first of all. Every time we find somebody who has COVID, you kill them. That's it. That's the solution. You won't need another one after that one. That's the final one. It's been pretty amazing to be alive during this thing, during COVID, because you're not going to see this again. And wow, did we learn some shit. That's really the things that teach you in life are things you never would have chosen to do for yourself. I mean, think about your life as far as it's been where you had the choices, where you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to pursue this. It all goes to shit, every bit of it. And even when it goes right, you're like, why don't I like it? It's what I wanted, but why don't I like it? Because it's your choice, and your choices are based on fear and fucking just thin, stupid, shitty hopes. But when life just kicks you in the balls, and you're like, oh, fuck, everything's different now, and it shows you shit you wouldn't have looked at otherwise. That's the great joy in it. And what I thought was really interesting about COVID, and still is that it's the first thing I've seen where everyone on Earth had the same problem. Every human being on Earth had the same problem. We never had that before. That's why we don't give a shit about each other. Because you read like, oh, there's floods in Houston. You're like, it's fucking water. What is it? What's your problem? Floods. What is that? Just walk like this. What, you can't handle some water? My basement floods. What the fuck? Who gives a shit? Like, he's on a canoe in the street. That looks like fun. Why is that an issue? There's fires in California. Blow it out. You fucking blow out a fire? Get the water from Houston and dump it on California. Fucking deal with it. But we all had the same problem. Every person from Zimbabwe to Tokyo to Newark to Honolulu, everybody was doing the same dumb shit. Every person had the same stupid fucking moment at the same, just trying to get the mask out of the well of your car door. Trying to, I gotta go in Walgreens. Where's my fucking mask? You're trying to, it's got pistachio shells in it and pennies. Shit. I'm sure it's still effective. I actually like the masks because it just, everybody looked nice. Everybody did. Because it's just their eyes. Eyes are nice. You never hear somebody say, that guy's got gross eyes. It's really, we should hide these. We should keep the masks, because this is disgusting. How do we just, with no shame, look inside my face, spit in at a tongue and teeth? It's fucking gross. Cover your mouth. Don't. I'd rather look at your asshole than your mouth. I really would. I'd rather stare into your asshole than glance at your mouth. Assholes aren't that bad, not to look at. We don't like to think about assholes, because like they're, you know, the shit and the farts and the diarrhea. But that's a small portion of their time. You ever really look at an asshole? You ever really look? Once you see it, like, in nature, it's just, it's a little, that's all. That's your asshole. It's like, you know what it is? It's just an aperture. That's all it is. That's your asshole. It's like a camera shutter. That's all it is.
Afternoon, I haven't seen daylight. The drapes are all down because I sleep during the day.
All right.
3 p.m. I'm fucking hungry. I get room service, go back to sleep, wake up at like 5, go to this shit mall, get a soft ice cream, watch a movie, go to the comedy club. The manager says, "How you doing?" And I go, "I'm all right." I just spoke my first words to a human being. Do a show, up all fucking night because I slept all day. Fucking nobody to talk. Calling the West Coast because some of those people are awake a little
Jerking
later.
off and eating too at night at fucking 2 in the morning.
Jerking off is just part. This is like the time, like the clock running.
You're just
constant
jerking off.
Calling people on the West Coast who I don't even know very well because I want to talk to somebody. And anyway, times multiply this by 2 weeks or so on the road. I retreat even more and more from people because I feel disgusting for what I'm jerking off to during the day. And then I go home to my wife, and it's like coming back from Vietnam. I don't relate to my family anymore.
You wouldn't understand.
I'm Bruce Dern, fucking taking off my clothes and walking into the ocean. I just fucking can't relate to society.
Sell the car,
anymore.
sell the house, sell the kids.
Yeah.
Send that letter.
Yeah, exactly.
That Kurt's letter.
Just less and less
Colonel
able
CK.
to fucking... Colonel CK. Yeah. Nothing to say to her.
Oh, damn.
My wife is like fucking a astronaut's wife with a shaky cigarette in her hand. He's fine. We all love him here.
Very proud.
When was the last time you saw your family? You've been on the road for a while, right?
Yeah, well, this morning I'm in New York. We're all in the city, so I saw my family this morning. My wife came into the city only because we had to go to couples therapy, so she brought the kids.
Today?
Yeah, we went yesterday.
You ever just yank your cock out and say, "Why don't you toot on this for a few minutes?" That's how you got to do it, man, as a married guy.
Holy shit, that's a great idea.
How's that working out?
If I did that, she would just do whatever she was doing. She wouldn't even look. We don't look at each other. And if I took out my dick and said, "Why don't you toot on this for a while?" she'd keep whatever fucking emailing. She'd be looking at whatever real estate wherever she wants to live when she leaves me. She'd be like, "I'm sorry, did you say something?"
And the counseling
It would be nothing.
The counseling is obviously her idea.
Oh no, I wanted.
You went for it.
Yeah. I'm the one who said I wanted to go. This fucking guy we did it last time we went. It's a double session. It was $800.
Wow.
$800.
What does he do? Eat both your assholes while he talks to you?
Jesus. That's
$800.
wow. How's it? Is it doing anything?
Oh, it's great. Everything's great.
It's great. Everything's great.
Oh, worth every penny.
It's fantastic. Great.
Yeah.
$400 a person?
Well, it's $400 an hour. He don't break it up by the person.
Oh, you go 2 hours.
Yeah, it's couples.
What is it, a drive-in movie? He puts her in the trunk before he drives. Hey, there's only one person here.
Is there anything
Listen up, honey.
Is there anything you could share from those get-togethers? Well, no, not anything about us. The guy, though, the first day he's telling us about it. A lot of times they tell you about other couples to give you comparisons. And he's like, hey, I know a couple, because I'm on the road a lot and I work a lot. So he's like, it's hard for people with careers. I know a couple. She's a lawyer and he's a sports writer. Right away, I'm like, I can Google that and make some connections.
Yeah, really.
Down.
I can figure
and
that
he's
one
like,
out.
while he's covering March Madness,
He's a lawyer. He's a sports writer.
and he goes, well,
On
he's
Fox this
covering
fall.
March Madness, and she's lecturing about pornography and law around the. So I'm like, I know who these people are.
Yeah.
I can figure it out in 10 seconds. Why are you telling me this?
The next couple's going to come in and he goes, I know a couple.
I know a couple. He's
Guy,
on stars in
redheaded
Lucky
comedian.
Louie.
Lucky Louie.
The first initial in his name are Loui. Fucking douche.
That's got to be something, though. You ever sitting there and listen to, like, a therapist or something and go, like, he doesn't get this at all? Or...
No. Well, the thing is, what happens in therapy is you get it. You really say the shit. It's only because my wife, I know she doesn't have XM in the car she's in, that I can say that she's. The other day she said, I hate. She pointed at my head and said, I hate him.
Oh, at the head.
Yeah, at my head.
Oh, God.
So here's the thing. You get in there and you fucking have it out. You say everything. And then you get addicted to that. And you can say, outside of the therapist's office, you can say nothing. Like, outside of the therapist's office, we're just, like, at home, we're just, like, just bullshit talking about, what did Rosie O'Donnell say today? Like, we can't. But if we start talking about anything real, it gets lightning rodded to what we fucking have said to each other. And if he's not there, we're going to kill each other.
Wow.
So we can only talk for 1 hour a week.
She said, I hate him.
And we spend all the other hours of the week in this strange avoidance. If we were in a boxing ring during the week, people would be whistling and throwing paper and do something. And then for that 1 hour, oh yeah, motherfucker, it gets hot in there.
I don't.
Oh shit!
I don't know how far we can take this, but why do you guys hate each other? Or can you discuss that?
What
got
did you
two
think when
kids.
she said, I hate you? What did you feel when she said, I hate you?
I hate you too.
Okay.
Is it just over time, slowly but
say it
surely,
about you.
the relationship broke down, or is this? Was there?
Oh, we got two kids. I think it's
That's
like this
tough,
for almost
kids.
any marriage, except for that we have. The thing is, we have a traditional marriage. I make all the money, and she raises the kids. But we have a traditional marriage in 2007, which means that you can't just say that.
Not traditional.
No, I don't get to say, I bring home the bacon.
Right.
You watch the kids.
You fry
That's
it
what
up
we're
in a
doing.
Fry it up in a pan.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. I bring home the bacon, I fry it up in the pan, I feed it to the kids, and if I mention that I pay the bills, I'm a fucking asshole. Like I'm a piece of shit for, like somehow I'm being prehistoric but it's true that I pay them, So it's hard. Like marriage is harder now, I think, than it ever has been. And it's not like this guy. He wrote a book, the guy we're going to, and it's all about how it's hard for marriage now because when the women work. My wife doesn't fucking work.
So your theory of your book goes out the fucking window.
Yeah, it's hard, but mostly it's because when you have kids, it's hard to fuck anymore, and you also care about your kids far more than you care about your spouse. I don't give a. I mean, my kids are my life now. I really don't give a shit about her. I really don't, because how could I next to my kids?
I'm laughing because I'm fucking stunned. It's just like a stunning thing.
The honesty.
Yeah.
The honesty.
Well, it's true. If our kids, look, I've got a lot of history with my wife, and there's a lot. It's a complicated relationship, and I feel I feel a lot of push and pull in many directions, and I'm fighting really hard to save it. We're in therapy, and my whole life right now is focused on saving our relationship and getting it back to somewhere good.
Right. Oh, but do you
so
wanna
it's the
save
biggest deal in my life. But if my kids weren't here, I wouldn't even call her to say goodbye. I just walk the fuck. I wouldn't leave a note. I would just stop being near
So
her
you're obviously-
fucking,
That's the way you
fucking
do it, Louis.
cancerous body.
You're saving it for the